Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and today we're doing a Master Duel Chaos Synchro deck profile. So I'm really excited to do some for you guys because this deck is an extremely powerful deck that can summon out all sorts of awesome light and dark synchro monsters to help you go in for game. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell in there so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely check out the Patreon in the description below for all those awesome rewards. Like getting your name description in every single video, getting a signed cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Chaos Witch. Chaos Witch is an amazing 3-of in the build, and this card is an awesome effect as you can contribute this card to special summon out 2 Dark Beast tokens that are Fiend, Dark, level 2, 1000 attack, 500 defense. But if this card is banished from your hand or graveyard, you can special summon out 2 Light Beast tokens that are Fairy, Tuner, Light, level 2, 500 attack, 1000 defense, which is such a cool ability just to instantly get tokens out on your side of the field so you can go in for awesome synchro plays. We then play 3 copies of Chaos Mirage Dragon. Chaos Mirage Dragon is really cool as a normal summon in the deck because this card is to be able to let you target a banished light or dark monster to be able to special summon it to your side of the field, but negate its effects. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot special summon monsters from the extract except light or dark synchro monsters. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as a synchro material, you can actually target cards your opponent controls up to the number of other monsters used for its synchro summon and banish them, which is a broken ability. This card is amazing as a 3-of in the deck. We then play 3 copies of Shell of Chaos. Shell of Chaos is an amazing card to help you just swarm the board with monsters so you can go in for your synchro plays. This card has the ability it cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by its own effect. And it has the ability, if this face-up card would leave the field, banish it instead. And you can only use each of the following effects this card once per turn. And you can banish a light monster from your hand or your graveyard to special summon this card in your hand. And it also has a really cool ability, if this card is special summon, you can target one of your banished Core of Chaos and special summon it to your side of the field. We then play 3 copies of Core of Chaos. Core of Chaos is really cool as a 3-of in the deck because this card cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned by a card effect, and this card also has the ability to banish a dark monster from your hand or graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. And if this card is special summoned, you can target one of your banished Shell of Chaos to be able to special summon it to your side of the field, which is so cool how these cards work together so well to help you go in for synchro plays, especially with your copy of Core of Chaos being a tuner. We then play 2 copies of Hand of the Lightsworn. Hand of the Lightsworn is really good as a 2-of in the build because this card is great to be able to summon out to your side of the field because during your main phase, you can send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and during your end phase, you send the top 2 cards of your deck to the graveyard, helping you get cards in the graveyard so you can banish them to summon out your chaos monsters. We then play 2 copies of Tearlament Sharon. Sharon is really good as a 2-of in this particular build, and I love that this card is at 2 in Master Duel to be able to play in this deck. Because during your main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, send a monster from your hand to the graveyard, then send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, essentially getting you 4 monsters in the graveyard potentially that you can start banishing to be able to summon out all your chaos cards, which is absolutely amazing. This card is amazing as a 2-of in the build because it's just a really good extender. We then play a single copy of Chaos Valkyria. Chaos Valkyria is great in the deck as a 1-of because you banish a light or a dark monster from your graveyard to special summon this card from your hand, just making it a really good extender. We then play a single copy of Chaos Dragon Levineer. Levineer is really good in this deck as a 1-of because this card is a great ability to banish a combined total of 3 light and dark monsters to be able to special summon this card to your side of the field from your hand. And it's a great card to be able to summon because if you only banish light monsters from your graveyard to special summon this card, you special summon 1 monster from your graveyard in defense position. If you banish only dark monsters, you shuffle a random card from your opponent's hand into the deck, but if you banish both light and dark, you destroy up to 2 cards on the field non-targeting, which is such a cool effect to be able to pop 2 cards on the field. We then play a single copy of the Chaos Creator. Chaos Creator is amazing as a 1-of in the build because this card just gets you a bunch of advantage. It has the ability to banish both a light and a dark monster from your graveyard to special summon this card, and if you control this card that was special summoned to your side of the field from your hand, you can actually target 3 banished monsters with different names and special summon one of them, and then place the rest on the bottom of the deck in any order, which is such a cool ability to use. We then play 3 copies of the Bestial Lubellion. Lubellion is an amazing 3 out of the deck and such a powerful chaos card to use with all of our other bestial monsters in this deck. This card is a really cool ability that cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summon from your hand or grave by tuning a level 6 or higher dark dragon monster. You can also send this card from your hand to the graveyard to be able to add a bestial monster from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, and during your main phase, you can place a branded continuous spell or trap card from your deck face up on your side of the field, which you can get to your copy of Brand Regained or Branded Beast. We then play a single copy of Magnamut. Magnamut is amazing in the deck because this card has the ability, just like all of your level 6 bestial monsters, that you can target a light or a dark monster in either graveyard and banish it, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand, and it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. But this card is the most powerful of all of the bestial monsters that are level 6 because it has the ability, if this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect that during the end phase of this turn, add a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is an amazing ability. We then play a single copy of Druis Worm. Druis Worm is just really good at spot removing cards off the field. 1 copy of Sawnir. Sawnir is also really good in the deck to be able to send your copy of Branded Regained from your deck to the graveyard, so you can put it back on your side of the field with Branded Beast off the effect of Lubellion that will put Branded Beast on your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Baldrake. Baldrake's also just a really good one-of in the build to be able to use as an additional name. We then play 2 copies of Assault Synchron. Assault Synchron's great in the deck as a 2-of to be able to summon that to your side of the field, because during your main phase, you can special summon this card in the hand, and then take 700 points of damage, but while it's in the monster zone, you cannot special summon monsters in the X deck except Synchro monsters, which is totally fine, because that's all we're summoning anyways. We then play a single copy of Shurunga. Shurunga's amazing in the build as a 1-of because we do play a Blackwing Synchro monster that can send this card to the graveyard in the form of Boreas Storm in our extract, making it super good in this particular build to send to the graveyard, which is absolutely amazing. And this card also has the ability to control a Blackwing Synchro monster. Quick effect, you manage to card from the graveyard and then target a face-up card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is a really cool effect. This card can also special summon itself to your side of the field if you have a monster with 2,000 more attack on the field, which is a really cool ability. We then finally play a single copy of Plague Spreader Zombie. Plague Spreader is so cool in the deck as a 1-of because you can send to the graveyard off your copy of Immortal Dragon and then bring it back to your side of the field. Plus, it's a classic Chaos card that's played in a lot of Chaos decks, so it's a really good tuner to be able to play in the build. So, that's it for the main deck, guys, or that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to start with a single copy of Branded Regained. Branded Regained is really good in this particular build because you're constantly banishing cards. This card has the ability if a light or a dark monster is banished except during the damage step, you can target one of those monsters and place that monster on the bottom of the deck. And if you do, draw a card. And it also has a really cool ability at once per turn. If your opponent normally special summons a monster except during the damage step, you can actually target a bestial monster in your graveyard and special summon it, which is such a cool ability just to help you get a monster out on your side of the field. We then play 2 copies of Chaos Space. Chaos Space is currently at 2 in Master Duel, but this card is really good at searching out the exact card that you need because you can send a light or a dark monster from your hand to the graveyard to add a light or a dark monster that cannot be normal summoned or set with a different attribute than that monster that you send to the grave to activate this card's ability from your deck to your hand. Meaning we can search out cards like Chaos Dragon Levenair, you can search out Lubellion, there's just a bunch of cards you can search out with this card's effect. We then play 3 copies of Allure of Darkness. Allure of Darkness is just really good at helping us draw 2 cards and then banish a card from our hand. We then play 3 copies of Charge of the Light Brigade. Charge of the Light Brigade is really good as a 3-of to be able to mill the top 3 cards of our deck to the graveyard and then add a copy of our Hand of the Lightsworn from our deck to our hand, which is such a cool effect. So, that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're just going to be playing one, and that's going to be a single copy of Branded Beast. Branded Beast is really good because it helps us pop cards on the field, and it also is great to be able to put your copy of Branded Regain back onto your side of the field. But the main way you're going to be able to get to this card is with your copy of Lubellion. By using Lubellion's effect to be able to place this card out on your side of the field, and using Saunier to be able to send your copy of your Regain to the graveyard to be able to, during the end phase, place it back onto your side of the field, Branded Beast ability, which is so cool to be able to do. So that's it for the main deck, guys. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to start off with our main boss monster, Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is such a powerful boss monster. This card has the ability to don't have to use a tuner to summon out this card. When it is special summon out to your side of the field, you can actually target a card on the field and banish it. And if you use light monsters to summon out this card, then synchro monsters you control are unaffected by monster effects activated by your opponent. If you use dark monsters, monsters you control cannot be destroyed by battle. This card is absolutely broken and a definite 2-0 in the build because it's our main boss monster. We're trying to summon out as quickly as possible. And I love the fact that you can actually treat a light or a dark monster as a tuner to be able to summon out this card. We can play a single copy of Red Supernova Dragon. Supernova is really cool to be able to summon out to your side of the field. It's very easy to summon out, especially with your copy of Chaos Witch generating tuner tokens on your side of the field. But it's really cool because this card just board wipes the field. Plus, it comes out absolutely massive. We then play a single copy of Dispatter. Dispatter is amazing in the deck, and it's really cool to be able to summon out because it lets you target a banished light or dark monster and special summon it to your side of the field. Plus, it's a walking negate. And then play a single copy of Scarred Dragon Archfiend. This card is very easy to summon out to your side of the field. It becomes Red Dragon Archfiend while on the field or in the graveyard, and if this card is sent from the monster zone to the grave, you can special summon out an original copy of Red Dragon Archfiend from your extra deck. And then, if this card was sent to the graveyard as a synchro summon for a Dark Dragon Synchro monster, you can destroy all attack monsters your opponent controls, helping you go in for game. You can play a single copy of the original Red Dragon Archfiend. This card is summonable off your copy of Scarred Dragon Archfiend. It's just a really good boss monster to be able to play in the deck. Then play a single copy of Draco Berserker. Draco Berserker is great in this build because this card has the ability to just banishes monsters when they activate their effects, plus it becomes absolutely massive, which is great to be able to play. Then play a single copy of Omega. Omega just takes cards out of your opponent's hand, which is really nice to be able to do. We then play 2 copies of Chaos Archfiend. Chaos Archfiend is an amazing 2-of in the build because this card has the ability, if any cards have been banished this turn, this card gains 2,000 attack points, boosting this card to 4,500. And this card can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Also banish any monster destroyed by battle with this card. And if this card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card, you can special summon a Chaos Synchro monster from your extra deck, except another copy of this card. And the card we usually summon is our copy of Chaos Goddess, which is such a cool nostalgic card to be able to play. And actually what the entire deck is based around. This card has the ability at once per turn, you can send a light monster from your hand to the grave, then target a level 5 or higher dark monster in the grave and special summon that monster, but it cannot attack or it cannot be used as synchro material, which is not that big of a deal. We're just going to get a monster back on the field. We then play 2 copies of Chaos Beast. Chaos Beast is really cool and probably the card you're going to summon out from the extra deck first. And this card is really, if any cards have been banished this turn, this card gains 1,000 attack points, boosting it to 3,000. Also, you can target one of your banished light or dark monsters and add it to your hand. And during your main phase, to set the turn this card was sent to the grave, you can banish a light and a dark monster from your hand or graveyard, except this card to special summon this card from the grave, just bringing it back to your side of the field. We then play a single copy of Borea Storm. Borea Storm is really good to be able to make in the deck because this card has the ability, if this card is synchro summoned, you can actually send a Blackwing monster from your deck to the grave, and if you do, this card's level becomes a level as the monster sent. So we can send our copy of Shuranga from our deck to the grave to make this card a level 2 tuner, which is really cool to be able to do to help us go in for a lot of different plays. Plus, our copy of Shuranga will give us a pop since we have this card on the field, which is amazing. We then finally play a single copy of Immortal Dragon. Immortal Dragon is great because during your main phase, you can send a zombie monster from your deck to the grave, and if you do, this card's level becomes the difference in the original levels of that monster in this card. So we're going to send our copy of Plague Spreader to the graveyard to make this card a level 4, which is great to be able to do. Then you can bring back Plague Spreader from the graveyard in the following plays to be able to go in for more synchro plays. So that's it for this deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play to help you go in for all sorts of cool synchro plays and basically summons out your copy of Chaos Angel as quickly as possible, which is extremely difficult for your opponent to deal with. And I absolutely love that boss monster because it's so powerful. So that's going to do it for this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can become part of the notification squad, and definitely comment down below what decks you'd like to see Master Duel deck profile versions of, which I'm really excited to do. And I absolutely love doing these because they're so fun to be able to do. So that's the end of this one, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can become part of the notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.